and then the blessing over the wine. There are 4 cups of wine which we drink at the Seder, and there are 2 reasons for those 4 cups of wine. The first reason is that the rabbis modeled the Seder after the Greek symposium, which later was adopted by the Romans as the Roman banquet. The Greek symposium was a gathering in which the Greeks would gather together to eat food and to discuss and debate points of philosophy, which were so central to their culture. And when they would gather, the upper echelons of society would recline on a triclinium, this long couch with only an arm on one side. You've all seen those. And they would lie down on the couch and they would eat. They're right-handed, so they would lie down on their left and they would eat with their right hand. And then, while they ate, they would philosophize, and in the course of the meal, there was a certain structure that always involved 4 toasts. The first was a toast to the master of the house, who was hosting. The second was a toast to the deity of the house. Every home had its family deity. The third was a toast to the emperor. And the fourth was a toast to Jupiter in the time of the Greeks, to Zeus in the time of the Romans, the chief god of their pantheon of gods. And the rabbis took this structure and they adapted it to make it the Seder. So just as the Greeks and the Romans have 4 cups of wine, we have 4 cups of wine. And just as they reclined to the left as they ate, we recline to the left as we drink our wine. And just as they dipped hors d'oeuvres before the meal, we will dip in hors d'oeuvre before our meal, so that our meal is just like theirs, except that the Roman banquet was a gathering of great hedonistic proportions. And we won't engage in those kind of orgiastic activities. Sorry, it will be a little more boring. But by adapting that formula, the rabbis essentially took on the practices of the ruling, oppressive, persecuting class to say, this is what it means that we're free. We can do what you do. We are not different than you. We are no different. We are the same flesh. We have the same soul. We have the same dignity as you, our oppressor. And so they adapted this. Therefore, 4 cups at our Seder in imitation of the Romans who ruled over Judea and who destroyed our temple. And then the rabbis sought to layer on top of that meaning from the Torah. And so they looked at the book of Exodus and saw that God promised the children of Israel that He would redeem them from their slavery in Egypt. And that promise was a 4-fold promise. God said, I will take you out of the land of Egypt, and I will save you, and I will redeem you, and I will take you to be my people. And the rabbis said, for each of those promises, I will take you out, I will save you, I will redeem you, I will make you my people. For each promise, a cup of wine, 4 cups of wine. But there is a problem with that interpretation, because when you try to force a verse of the Bible on top of this Roman banquet, which weren't meant to go together, it doesn't fit quite right. You see in that verse in Exodus, there are 5 promises, not 4. The text reads, I will take you out of Egypt, and I will save you, and I will redeem you, and I will take you to be my people, and I will bring you to the land of Israel, to give you the land which is a good land, to be your land, to live in as a sovereign nation where you will have a covenant with me. 5 promises that God makes to the children of Israel. And so centuries later in the Talmud in Babylonia, later rabbis will debate if the cups are based on the verses, why are there 4 cups and not 5? They didn't know from the Roman banquet. It had passed from their historical knowledge. And they debated whether there should be 5 cups. And they decided in the end that they couldn't resolve the problem. They said, take the Tishbite will resolve all issues at the time of the ultimate redemption. Elijah the prophet will come one day to announce world peace. He'll tell us what we should do. Until then, we'll leave the question unsolved. And because of that, we have the 5th cup we drink at the end of the Seder, when we get there, the cup of Elijah. The first cup of wine we're going to drink now. You raise your cups. And as we say the blessing, we drink the cup like the Romans and the Greeks. We will lean to the left as a sign of our freedom.